Majestic Marie and Laura got the wrestling world right here, no need to go far. All girls podcast, bringing vibes so grand. Talking power bombs and peaches, we've got the upper hand. With a smile, positivity, and tales of the ring. From Eddie Kingston's moves to each title swing, we're here to cheer, laugh, and maybe even cry. Join us on this ride, let's kiss that heel goodbye. Peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic Marie and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. Bro. Every episode's a celebration, moments that we hold. No storyline too big, no champion too bold. For the love of the sport, for each crowd's thunder, wrestling's in our hearts, ever full of wonder. So raise your signs high as we speak the truth of epic rivalries and glory of youth. From Eddie's grit to the Diva's reign, in every bout there's joy amidst the pain. Oh, peaches and power bombs, let's start the show, where legends come to dance and superstars glow. Listeners, come closer, hear the stories flow. With Majestic Marie and Laura, watch your fandom grow. Watch your fandom grow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. I am Majestic Marie, and I have a special guest with me. I have Johnny Metal. If you happened to look in the crowd last night and you're wondering who the dude was in the tie-dye shirt, that's him. So we have a first-hand experience from Monday Night Raw last night. So we're going to get into that, and we're also going to talk about Evolution. I'm very jealous and upset that I did not get to go, and it was only 20 minutes from my house. But if they would stop going to downtown Atlanta, where it's not safe to go to, then, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But, they insist. So here we are. How are you today, sir?
Doing good. Thank you for having me on. This is all. It's always fun when I can talk about when WWE comes to Birmingham and stuff, because we seem like we make you all jealous over there.
Every time the Samoans love Birmingham, Alabama, they always want to return in Alabama. You would think that would be somewhere no one cares about, but no, they're like, that's the place for me. So here we are.
There we are. So there
all
you
right.
go. Yeah.
Well, we got some business to take care of first, Johnny, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to let the Briscoe brothers, like always, get us hyped up for the show.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready. You can say you're ready as many times as you want. That's all I'm going to tell you. Y'all boys ain't ready. There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick? Hey. Somebody losing sleep. They losing sleep, baby. I've been getting the best sleep of my life. I've been snoring, baby. I've been snoring. Dreaming about this ass.
Gotta love Jay and Mark.
I know.
Always love that.
Yes. And just a side note, I understand why MJF won the gauntlet match on Saturday, but I was pulling for Mark. I was
Right.
pulling for Mark.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Why WWE. Well, we'll get into why I think WWE did what they did at the end of Raw last night, but we'll get to that when we get there. So I don't want
Yep.
to spoil things too much.
Yep.
I have a
And
thought.
if you guys are interested in AEW talk, make sure that you check us out tomorrow afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Eastern. Ray and I will be here to talk, and we have a lot to talk about. Ray's favorite of all time is Adam Cole, so it's going to be a tough show for him. So pray for Ray, pray for Adam Cole, pray for everyone involved.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right, so we have the gang starting to come in. Timothy is here. I think all of the women on Evolution are queens, Timothy. And Timothy, things have been crazy. I'm sorry I have not been able to make your Jacob Fatu button. My dad has been in the hospital, so cut me a little bit of slack. And Christine is here. And we got someone from my music corner here, Michael.
Michael Ladano, yeah. The tie-dye shirt that I was wearing yesterday, he has a friend that creates the Lego characters like that. And so
Okay.
and it's a friend that we both have done shows with, and it was kind of modeled after a kind of a shirtless picture of the guy with, he was lifting some dumbbells or whatever. And then he markets the shirt on Grab a Stack of Rock on tpublic.com. So there you go, Mike. I gave you a free advertisement.
Right there in front of everybody too, because we could see you like almost the entire time if it was from the hard cam. So
Well, when some other famous guy came to Birmingham, a year ago or so,
yeah.
I was wearing I was wearing his other shirt that he has it's for his channel called Grab a Stack of Rock, and I'm like, and the Rock's looking at me with that shirt, and he's like, grab a stack of me? What? No. I doubt it, but anyway. So yeah.
Well, maybe your shirts are really good luck. See, they bring out all the stars.
They seem to. So I'll keep wearing them.
All right, so we are going to talk about Evolution match by match. I do want to go ahead and send out we're hoping that Seth Rollins, his knee injury gets better and that he'll be okay very soon. It always stinks when people get hurt. And so we're going to go ahead and put that out there. And at a later time, I'll go over Saturday Night Main Event. But for today, I didn't want to take up Johnny's time too much. We could be here for 3 hours talking about all of the wrestling that happened all weekend.
You're not hearing a complaint out of me.
I understand, but I also don't want to be on here for 3 hours.
No, I don't either. No.
So we're just going to talk about Evolution and the Monday Night Raw to follow it. And this was a match of the night contender. I think it's a really close call. That main event was spectacular. So I think that beat it just a little bit, but this was a way to start the pay-per-view and to get people off their feet. We had a women's triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Johnny, I'm interested to get your perspective because I know you're not the biggest Becky Lynch or Bayley or Four Horsewomen fans, but you have to admit that they threw down.
Let me also preface this. You also know me good enough that I usually have been crapping on the women's divisions for like the last number of years. Because for whatever reason, they haven't been, only maybe a few really bring it good.
Right.
Well, let me tell you.
Let
me talk to you.
Or allowed to.
Well, yes. No, my mind has completely been changed on a lot of them. And Becky and Bayley both impressed the heck out of me last night. Or Sunday night, rather. That was a barn burner of a match to start the night off. And I felt bad for a couple of the matches that had to follow that.
Yes.
I think the chemistry with Lyra was fantastic with both Becky and Bailey, and it was probably one of the best matches I think I've actually watched with Becky and Bailey. In all truth, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the other thing that really sparked that match on so much, that crowd was hot.
Yes.
Hot. I mean, hot as the sun hot. It was hot.
Yes. I think it's because you didn't get a lot of, and I'm not downing casual fans because they are important and everything like that. But I think the women's pay-per-view was actually for people who actually enjoy wrestling and enjoy women's wrestling in particular. And they really wanted to show up for these ladies. So they were extra loud and extra present. And I think that spoke. There was only 6,000 people in the building too, but it sounded like the whole thing was full.
Kind of like 10,000 or 15,000 or something.
Yes.
But yeah, it was loud. But now as far as the match itself, you know, you got to give Lyra some credit. She takes some hellacious bumps sometimes.
Yes.
Good Lord. I keep thinking that Nia Jax move from Crown Jewel or whatever that was.
Oh my goodness. I thought her face was broken.
That. Yes. You know, she's known to take these really crazy looking bumps, and she comes out good. And the one bump that I'm thinking is when Bailey did the elbow drop.
Yes.
Onto Lyra to break up the submission or whatever that was. Yeah, that was a crazy bump. I give her credit that was plus you got to love the This Is Wrestling chants that were starting off so quickly.
Yeah.
Man, it was really just it was good. It was a great opening match.
Yes.
Great opening match.
And Bailey and Lyra actually continued this momentum on later the next night that you got to witness in person with a 2 out of 3 falls match, which was absolutely fantastic. I do have to say, Bailey is my current favorite women's wrestler. I love her. I drove 8 hours to watch her win the Royal Rumble. I knew she was going to win it last year. And I was like, I have to see this. She's my favorite. And so I drove that far to see her win. And Lyra, honestly, I wasn't up on the Lyra train fully because I wasn't familiar with her from NXT. And when she came onto the main roster, she just looked like kind of a deer in headlights type thing. Like, oh no, what am I going to do? There's like a billion people in here and I'm scared to death. She always looked like she was frightened. Yeah. And I think this whole thing with this Becky Lynch, and then you throw in Bailey there at the last minute too. I think working with those two veterans have really brought her out of her shell, and she has really started to not just wrestle good, but also perform very well as well. So all kudos to Lyra. She has improved drastically in just like 2 to 3 months.
And we've repurposed the woo.
Yes.
Sorry, had to throw that out there.
So how was the 2 out of 3 falls match?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go back and forth with that. The 2 out of 3 falls match I thought was good. That was a very the third fall, as you could tell on Netflix, was pretty hard hitting. The thing that you didn't see in the first fall is I think Bailey had a little tug of tights to kind of help her in that first fall. So I think that because that was something I saw from my perspective. So you can call me Jesse Ventura for this if you need to, but I could have sworn I saw a little tug of tights going on there. So she kind of snuck that one in there. But yeah, I mean there were a couple spots in that match that like that one. There was the one power bomb, like the kind of thing that you thought she was going to go for the Nightwing, but it turned out to just be more of a power bomb. That didn't really land too well, but then she hit the Nightwing and that was it. So it was, I thought live that was a good match and it was well received, definitely well received in the crowd. You know, you could definitely hear the chants for each going back and forth. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
wrestling buddy I was sitting with, she was Bailey, I was Lyra, so you know we were going back and forth there. So we disagreed there, but no, solid match, and Bailey was literally like right at my feet after the match, because when she rolled out, I mean, yeah, there was the barricade, but she was like, I could look over and boop, she's right there. You know?
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, that was good. That was a good match.
Timothy said that an hour and 20 minutes of last night on Raw was more women's on TV. Well, that makes sense because they just had a pay-per-view, so they wanted to build off of that momentum.
Raw literally picked up where Evolution left off.
Yes.
And there was 2 matches actually before Raw started. There was 2 matches like for main event. And one of them was a women's match. It was Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. Mm-hmm. And the other was Ludwig Kaiser, El Grande Americano, and Austin Theory.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Raw picked right up where Evolution left off.
Johnny, you got some love in the chat from Grab a Stack of Rock.
The Grab a Stack of Rock. Yep. Gotta love him. He was blowing my phone up too last night. So yeah.
And Natalia is here. Welcome. Yes.
We bid you welcome.
All right. Well, next up, I'm not sure if this was actually next or not, but this was the next one that I could remember. So if it's out of chronological order, who cares? We're going to talk about all the matches anyway. I have the WWE Women's Championship match with Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I unfortunately did not get to see the build of this match because I was either out of town or helping my dad because he was in the hospital or things like that. So I didn't get to see the build of this match, so I don't know how that went. But the match itself, I was surprised with how much chemistry there was between the two. And I wasn't really sure how Tiffany would be able to work with someone who might not be in the ring all the time. So and this is a testimony to her, I think, of how much Tiffany Stratton really took control in this match and directed the match well. And I'm not saying that Trish was by any chance, lagging behind or anything like that. She looked like $1 million as well. The I don't know what she calls it, but the thing where she gets up on her hands and takes her feet and flips them over. She usually does it in the turnbuckle area, but she did it off the apron the first time. And then the second time she did it in her usual spot. And, that takes a whole lot of work, and
more strength.
if you're not in the ring all the time, I don't know. I thought that was impressive
my feeling is Trish is a goat. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Definitely a goat. I mean, she hung in there with Tiffany just fine. She looks like she could probably hang with any of the roster with no problem. Mm-hmm. I had no problems with this match. I thought this was a decent match.
Right. And they're really building Tiffany Stratton up to be just this mega superstar. I mean, she has beaten Charlotte Flair, she's beaten Bailey, she's beaten Nia Jax, and now she has a Hall of Famer under her belt as well with Trish Stratus. And she's just really coming into her own.
It's Tiffy time.
It is.
It really is. But yeah, I'm trying to look. I don't think there was like any like really special spots that I can think of off of this. Yeah, I think the only thing I thought was that I think when she hit the moonsault at the end, I thought it almost looked like she landed on Trish's head. but I was a little worried for Trish there for a second. But no,
right.
She was fine. But
yes. Yeah, well, little mishaps and everything can happen, with anyone. And Seth Rollins was hurt as well So, it can happen to anybody with anyone. So,
Yep. Very much.
no, I do not have a Tiffany button. I have a Charlotte Flair button, but not a Tiffany button. I haven't updated my buttons in a long time. I need to do some revamps. Okay, I don't know if this was next or not, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We had the NXT Women's Championship. I'm glad that this title was presented on the women's pay-per-view. I was a little worried that some of the NXT girls weren't going to get any spotlights. And I'm happy that they had their own special match and not just thrown in somewhere like with some of the other matches that was on the card. But they had their own match, and it was JC Jane versus Jordynne Grace. And I don't remember what JC Jane's faction is because I'm sorry, I don't watch
Influence.
Fatal Influence. Okay,
Fatal
and
Influence.
Jordynne Grace needed some backup because she's usually backed up into a corner. I'm guessing because JC Jane has a faction, so I'm sure the numbers game always plays against her. So she asked newcomer. Brooke Monroe is what her name is now, right? Okay.
Blake Monroe.
Blake. Okay. Something like that.
Yeah.
She'll always be Mariah May to me. But this was pretty good. I didn't know the storyline, but I was involved in the match. I do like Jordynne Grace a lot. She's just on the show that I have to cut out of my schedule, unfortunately, because I just don't have the time to watch all of wrestling. So something has to go.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's usually NXT.
Yep.
But I am a big Jordynne Grace fan. I was thinking she was going to win this, even not knowing, because I know that she is contended for the title quite a few times since she has signed full-time with WWE. And I thought that this was Jordynne Grace's night. No, JC Jane pulls a fast one on her and gets the 1, 2, 3. But the big thing is that Blake Monroe turned on her, and of course she's a heel because that's what she does best.
That's what she does. Now, to set up, Jordynne Grace won a fatal 4-way match to earn the right to take on JC Jane at Evolution. That's how it came to be. And I think that only happened like a couple weeks ago. So it was pretty recent. But then Blake Monroe was trying to glam up Jordynne Grace. And I guess the whole idea was taking her eye off the prize, and type of thing. And so I think that's where all that kind of started, because you really thought she was going to be all buddy, but I thought this was a good match. I have been watching NXT. I got the CW app, so I've been actually trying to keep up with it where I can. So it's JC and Fatal Influence has been. I'm usually like really dead set against factions, but they're all growing on me a little bit better if they're done right. Unlike some other promotion that has about 600,000 factions in their promotion. I won't say nothing. Sorry. But anyway, no, I think they've done it well. I think it's a little bit of maybe, I don't know if I would call it a throwback to the Beautiful People from TNA back in the day, but they give me that kind of vibe. And I kind of like JC Jane as champion right now. So I thought Jordan was going to win too, because they kept saying JC Jane is the most beatable NXT champion. Well, she's still champion.
Yeah. Well,
now I think this will set up a really good feud though for I think Jordan and Blake are going to really tear it apart. So I think that'll be a good feud.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I need to figure out how to fit NXT into my schedule a little bit so I can keep up with what's going on, because I'm a big fan. Of course, I was a big fan of Mariah May, now Blake Monroe in NXT, and I'm a big fan of Jordynne Grace, and I want to get to know the NXT girls a little bit better, so I can watch them grow and come up into the main roster eventually. So. Yep. All right, here we go. Let me see. Hello, John. Great to see you again.
The professor.
Nice to meet you,
he's
too.
He's one of my music chat guys. So thank you, Peter. Good to see you.
Mariah May, now Blake Monroe. Of course she is a queen. Of course she is. She's great at what she does.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
All right. What you got
Next
next?
up, we had the women's tag team match with the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Judgment Day versus Zarya and Silruka.
Woo.
This was all over the place, but not in
Yeah.
a bad way.
Correct. I would agree with that. Yes, there was a lot to keep up with in this match.
Yes.
Because this was almost a little bit of a case of there's a lot of people and you want to try to get their stuff in.
Right.
You had a little bit of that going on in this match. But then you also had these other dynamics with Charlotte pulling Alexa out of the way and
absolutely.
You have that spear and then you see them all cuddled up in the corner, stuff like that. And, you're seeing all these different dynamics. And then, of course, the Kabuki Warriors just doing their thing and everything. And then, Judgment Day, you're seeing Raquel and Roxanne, really teaming for the first time, really.
Right.
And they seem to do okay. They did just fine. And Raquel's great as the enforcer role. And I think Roxanne is kind of taken over. I wouldn't say she's Alexa Bliss, not
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, thank you. Liv, not quite that, but she's good enough there that she can fill in that role well. That whenever Liv does come back, that could be a good feud if they eventually turn Liv face. But
they will. They're planting those seeds very intricately because Roxanne Perez is working doubly hard to get Raquel on her side completely because you were there last night. You heard the promo where she said it was all Raquel talking about this match right here. She's the one who pulled out the victory. Liv Morgan was all about Liv Morgan, basically. I'm the most winningest, women. This show is all about me,
Right.
And Raquel was just kind of in the back. Not necessarily she put Raquel down, but she took all the spotlight. And now Roxanne Perez is going, no, it's all about Raquel. Raquel's going to get used to that. Yeah. And she's not going to want to be put back in the shadows when Liv Morgan comes around. So it's going to be fun.
Do you think this is a comparison to Diesel and HBK?
I think sort of, maybe. It's funny that you mentioned that, though, because Kevin Nash has actually commented on Raquel Rodriguez lately, saying that she needs to wrestle bigger than she does. And she took that advice and said, yes, sir, I will start wrestling bigger. I think that shows what a professional she is.
Yes.
Taking advice from a legend like Kevin Nash, who probably worked, the best big matches.
Oh, yeah. And you can definitely tell she has done that.
Yeah.
She has definitely taken that advice and has used it very well. And it's worked well with her character. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with what they're doing with her. I think that's good.
Yes. And I think the best thing they've ever done that they could have done to save Charlotte Flair is put her with a fan favorite in Alexa Bliss. Yeah. And I didn't think that this was going to work, but it absolutely has worked. And those two are great together. I love watching them.
Yeah, they really worked. They worked well together. I was really surprised at how they've really. I mean, you even heard "We Want Charlotte" last night or Sunday night. That had to bring. I mean, Charlotte's been really all over the place with like emotions and mental stuff. I mean, she's really been really put through the ringer lately. So it's
I think so.
Yeah. So I think that was very good. I think it was probably good for her in more ways than one. So good on WWE for really capitalizing, I think, on that. So it's a good thing.
Well,
It's weird because I don't think they did a whole lot in the. They really didn't do a whole lot in the match itself, but
there
yeah,
was
it was
so much character and storyline work in there, though. I mean, they
yeah.
had Charlotte save Alexa when just days before that she was saying, "We're not
Mhm.
friends, we're just associates," or whatever the shirt says.
And
And
look at them as they were going down into the ring. Alexa's putting the doll out in front, and Charlotte's blocking it off from her. So it's like, no,
yeah,
no, no, that's not how this works. But yeah, I'd like to see how this develops from there. I think that should be interesting.
and last night, since we're on this topic, we'll go ahead and talk about the Judgment Day versus the Kabuki Warriors
Yes.
and Dirty Dom being medically uncleared. Eat, eat, eat. But
Yeah.
he's out there wrecking havoc and getting in the way and
Yep.
helping his teammates out there win the
Yep.
match.
And helping
So,
helping him get more ringing in his ears from getting booed loudly.
yes, I think I heard a Dom you suck chant last night.
Yep.
Was that correct?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, that was probably when he was closing his ears and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty. I knew that was going to start.
Yes.
But
It was fantastic, though.
yeah, good match with just the two teams.
Yeah.
Again with the Kabuki Warriors and especially Roxanne, because they're all smaller, they really worked well together. And then Raquel would come in and do the big wrestler stuff, which they worked. Again, the chemistry here was really good. So I thought this was a really good match. Again, I'd like to see what they could do without all the shenanigans of Dom and everybody else, but
I understand that, but at the same time,
yeah,
it keeps building into the story of Dominic continuing to help Roxanne Perez and
yeah,
solidify that spot in the Judgment Day, even though he's like Liv Morgan's on-screen boyfriend, so
right. I forgot there was so I don't know if I was watching this again on Netflix this morning. So if you noticed, did you see JD was playing the Fall Brawl game, and you see how he had set up the opponents?
no.
I didn't catch that last night because you couldn't really see it. But yeah, when JD's playing the video game, he had the Kabuki Warriors against Raquel and Roxanne on the screen getting ready to play. Another little fun tidbit from last night. This obviously happened during the break when Kairi Sane was doing her little umbrella thing.
Mhm.
It malfunctioned,
Oh.
and you know how when you're in the rain and you get a wind gust,
Mhm.
you know how it kind of goes inside out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened with her. She did something, and somehow the thing came in, kind of turned inside out a little bit. So so I was like, whoops. I don't think that was supposed to happen, but
Mm.
yeah, I thought the double submission spot was good. That was nice to see that. But man, Raquel's raw power was just perfect. So yeah, I thought a good solid match. Really, really was a good one to kind of kick it off and kick the night off as far as the wrestling part of it goes. So yeah, good match live.
Mhm.
And again, there was a point that Kairi Sane was actually like right in front of me. Again, she got right back to the barricade, and she was like almost like right, kind of putting her hands up on the thing. I didn't have my camera or nothing like that ready. I'm not sure if it was on camera or not, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Lots of cool stuff.
yeah,
Christine says that Roxanne will turn on her. I don't think that Roxanne is going to turn on her. I think Raquel is going to turn on Liv.
yeah, that would make more sense.
Alexa and Charlotte they are faces as a tag team.
Yeah, they were. You could definitely tell they were way over on Sunday night. That was huge. So.
Oh, and I wanted to give Zarya and Solaruka a little bit of love too, because
Oh yes,
they did well as well.
they are so much fun to watch in NXT. I enjoy both of them. They're a good team, and Sol Ruka is a good champion. So yeah, I'll give props to them.
Yep. All right, next up we had a battle royal. It was a traditional battle royal. Oh, I see. Nice. Very nice. I'm not going to name all the women that was involved in this match, but some of the key players was Nikki Bella. Of course, she was the first one to come out, and you got to see her wrestle in a one-on-one match against Chelsea Green.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea Green is so great in the role she's in.
She knows as I keep hearing people say, she knows how to maximize her minutes.
Yes, she does. I don't know if anyone can make dead look so good as Chelsea Green does. When someone clobbers her, it's so funny. She just goes a whole lip and dies, and I'm like, okay.
Well, it's like last night. There was during the spot where Nikki slaps Chelsea. You know, they say she just slapped the taste out of her mouth. Well, I said something totally different, but since this is a G to PG rated show, I'll be nice and I won't say that. I won't say what I actually had in my head that got a good snicker from somebody behind me, but I'll be nice. I won't say it.
I appreciate that. So,
and I also had a thought about what Piper Niven's look these days, you know, especially with her in that suit and the way she's got her hair and the way her makeup is. I'll just say she reminded me of the one teacher in the movie Porky's. That's all I'll say.
I've never seen that.
Maybe somebody who's watching this, if you see it in the comments, you might know what I'm talking about, but I'll leave it at that. So. Continue with the battle. I will say this battle royal was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
I enjoyed this.
Yes. There was some NXT girls in there. Of course, the one to stand out the most was probably Lash Legend, who was with some help, I will admit, but she was the main one who was able to eliminate Nia Jax, which is not an easy feat. No. And she looked really great in this. And then, of course, Stephanie Vicaire was the one who ended up winning. I don't think we could have picked anyone better to win the Battle Royal, to be honest. Stephanie Vicaire just has star written all over her. And I'm excited. I'm excited because, you know, I didn't get to see her in NXT, but my eyes are glued every time she's on the screen. And I'm like, yeah, she's become
one of my favorites. I really enjoy Stephanie Vicaire. I really like that. I like her style. You could tell she's a world traveled wrestler, and she's really implemented a lot of those kind of styles. And then her character's also kind of dark too, so you have that going for her. But great style. And then you gotta love the Devil's Kiss thing. I mean, I know like Booker would go nuts during that with on NXT, and then Wade's doing and bouncy, you know, whatever he was saying with all that. But I mean, that was I've seen her do that finish to the Battle Royal with on someone else before, where, you know, after her and Lash got all hung up in the bottom rope there, and she did that Devil's Kiss on the apron, and then all she had to do was just bloop. and that was that. It was like perfect ending to me. So
yeah, that was pretty cool.
But yeah, I say Nia Jax versus Lash Legend, book it. That could be good. That could be good. I would enjoy that.
Maybe. I'm not the biggest Nia Jax fan.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Nia Jax fan either, but it would be nice to see some I don't want to say man slapping meat thing, but you get what I mean. You got two big women going at it, and I think that would be, you need kind of something like that instead of almost a David and Goliath kind of scenario where you have, like, I'll use AEW again, like really Riho will beat Nyla Rose? Really? That shouldn't work on paper. That shouldn't really work, but it does. But so you get the idea. So it's nice to see two women of almost the same size going at it and stuff like that.
So
Big meaty man slapping me.
just women.
It just sounds wrong when you're talking about it with women. So I didn't want to say it that way, but yeah.
Well, you brought it up, so I
know.
I was like, wait, I think I got that. I think I got a clip of that. So.
I gotta love it.
So you got to see Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green in person, and then Stephanie Vicaire came out for the save to help Nikki out a little bit.
Yep.
So what did you think of that segment?
I thought the match actually was pretty good. I never claimed to be a big Nikki Bella fan or a Bella twin fan to begin with, but she showed a lot of improvement. You can definitely tell she's trained to still keep up with the ring. And, with all the crap that's gone on with her in her personal life, and to know that she is still well adored and loved by the fans, I think had to be a shot in the arm for her. So, again, I thought it was a decent match. Chelsea was probably a good person to have in the ring with Nikki. And then all the extracurricular stuff afterwards. That's what brought Stephanie out. Unfortunately, we did not get a devil's kiss last night. I would like to have seen that, but did not happen. But yeah, because I think there was a backstage segment that teased at that. There was a segment where they I don't know if it made camera or if it did. Maybe it did. Where she was being interviewed, and then the Chelsea and the Hervis or Secret Hervis or whatever it's called.
Yes.
They came in and kind of interrupted, and then she said, "Hey, you can look, but you can't touch," and they were going to go out to the ring. So
yeah, that made the air.
That made the air. Okay. Yeah, I think the only segments that I don't think I heard a few interviews that didn't make it, like there was an LA Knight thing that I think they made as a real American made and Ivy Nile, and there was a third one and I can't remember what it is now, but anyway, it was good stuff.
Well, we got some love in the chat. My friend Molly is here. Hello. And
Jack Giordano. How you doing, brother? Jack is another fella who I've done music chats with and have also done a few wrestling shows with. So he's up in the great state of New York, and he has a little catching up to do because he didn't get to see last night. So
gotcha. The greatest U.S. women's champion of all time is Miss Green. Well, that title's only been around for a hot minute, and we've only had 3 champions.
And they're not using it right now. So
no, I thought it was crazy that Julia was in the Battle Royal. And her and Zelina Vega could have had a 7-minute match.
Oh, easily.
It didn't have to be long.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. But yeah, I don't know. They dropped the ball with that. I don't know why they didn't have that on the match or on the card either. But yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Stephanie McMahon speaking Spanish. Sí, señor. All right.
Offers a great perspective versus sitting in the nosebleeds.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there was anybody closer than you, John.
No, except the wrestlers themselves, but
right. All right, well, moving on. And we're going to kind of talk about these two things sort of together-ish. Okay. We had the No Holds Barred women's match with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee as well. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. It was okay. I'm guessing it wasn't a bad match, but compared to all the other matches that we had seen on the card, I would say it was probably my least favorite. Not that they did anything wrong. It just, everything else was just so insane.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow paced match. It was only like 8 minutes. It wasn't even that long,
No.
but it seemed like it wasn't very. It was very slow paced. But Jade's looking better in the ring. I'll give her credit for that.
Well,
She's looking a little bit better. And Naomi's this new character thing for Naomi is just. Although there is one thing that I after a while with her promos gets a little annoying is that she sounds like her voice keeps cracking all the time.
she does that on purpose.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
She wants to sound out of her mind. So
Yeah, and she's doing a wonderful job of it. But yeah, I think the first table spot was kind of safe for Jade, but then that jaded off the top rope, that was a heck of a finish. So through the table, I thought that was a pretty brutal finish. So
yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but Naomi almost got away from her, but she held on to her, there at the last second. I thought Naomi was going to slip out of her grip from the way it looked.
That would have been bad. That probably would have been pretty bad. But
so I'm glad that didn't happen.
And Bianca really wasn't a factor in the match.
No,
from the three. I mean, yeah, she was. You could definitely tell there was a concern when Naomi did that kick to Jade and the monitor exploded. I mean, that was a good reason to be a little bit of a concern. But for the most part, she was not a factor in that match at all. So
no, and I thought that was a little weird. Why would she be the special guest referee if there was nothing in there?
Remember the SummerSlam match from Nashville, and Jeff Jarrett was the guest referee, and he just called it right down the middle. He didn't do anything special with it. He just did the match, and that was that.
Well, it's not just that she called it down the middle, but there was no.
Well, there was really no reason to get
look. There was no, like, even after the match was over, there was no looks exchanged between her and Jade or her and Naomi or anything like that. It was just like it was just like she was Jessica Carr or something. That was my point. Like, she wasn't part of the storytelling either, not just part of the match.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that was a little bit bizarre, but well, as we will find out later, that whole story thing is probably now done. So
yeah.
So as we will find out later, but
all right, let's see. Christian is here and says hello.
Yes, Christian. Yes, good to see him. I think he got the wrong show though. Grant's not on this one. So oh, there's Grant. Grant's watching me. Okay. Good to see you guys.
Peaches Records and Tapes.
Power bombs. Peaches and power bombs. We're talking wrestling today, man. So,
yeah, if you want expertise on music, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, Grant's another one of those music guys I do shows with every once in a while. So
that's
cool. Christian follows my channel too. So shout out to you guys. So see, you're getting all kinds of interesting viewers tuning into the show. So that's a good
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I know this isn't a music episode, but I'm glad you're here anyway. We finished up the night with a bang. And even without the ending, Johnny, this is going to go down as one of the best women's matches in history, I think. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. These two have the perfect chemistry.
Yep.
What else can I say? It was just great.
I mean, and I thought that triple threat match with them and Bianca was a classic.
Yeah.
And this took it up a notch or two. And this took it up even further. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe how good this match was. And it was like, by the time it was all done, it was like 26 minutes, according to Wiki. It was a long match and it just kept going. And then of course Jessica Carr gets bumped out, and then let's have some fun. Let's go all over the arena.
Let's talk about that. Was that the first female ref bump in WWE?
You know what? I really think it is. I
Because
really
I've
think it is
never seen it. I don't think I've seen it.
because you don't always get to see them always reffing as much, with the women.
Well, and
Usually,
a lot
I
of
mean, they don't, but for whatever reason, they don't ever do that with the women referees. So yes, I think that was the first female ref bump that we've seen in
and a lot of
WWE,
times,
because they've done that with Aubrey, I think, in AEW.
yeah, I'm not counting her.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not counting her either. So yeah,
um,
but in WWE, yes, I think this was the first one.
well, a lot of times the women referees aren't really reffing the women's matches a lot of times. And
Yeah,
so, of course, the men are not going to hit the women referees, even
no,
by accident.
no,
So, um, that's why it struck me. I was like, was that the first female ref bump that they have ever done?
yeah. Kudos to them. Kudos to
Yeah,
them. Let them have. And it was great that all the matches were reffed by women too. That
yeah,
I thought that was a wonderful touch too. The only thing I think that could have even made it even better is if you had a woman in the announcer's desk.
yeah,
I think that also could have been a nice touch. But I think Wade Wade and Cole did a wonderful job.
yeah,
So I'm not complaining.
yeah. I don't think that they would have brought Veda Scott in for one day, or I don't know,
Well,
Beth Phoenix, or
I think originally I think they were talking about like Lillian Garcia, but oh well, yeah, for announcer for yeah, wrong department. Yes, I'm with you for that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Because I don't know if Veda Scott would even do anything in WWE. She's mostly, what is she even? Where is she these days? I don't even know where she is
She's
anymore.
all over the place.
Yeah,
She's just all over the place.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know.
yeah.
But it looked like we were getting to the end of this match, and we were like, is Rhea finally going to beat Io Sky, the thorn in her
Mhm.
side for all these years? Not so fast, Rhea. Here comes Naomi
Proceed with
pulling,
caution.
you know, Seth Rollins, cashing in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is
Mhm.
always going to be one of the heists of the centuries.
Yep,
This is probably right there up there with it.
yep,
And here comes Naomi bulldozing through down there, and just steals it away from these two women. I was
yep.
not expecting this
I really wasn't
at
either.
all.
I really wasn't either, especially with her doing that jaded from the top rope through the table. I thought that spot was, because you could kind of tell she was still selling that, when
Yeah.
she was walking down. So yeah, that was yeah, I was very surprised to see that. But then all she had to do was whack Io with the case, get rid of Rhea, and then do that split like a moonsault. 1, 2, 3, boom.
Yeah,
And that was
and
that.
there we go. And kudos to them for kind of swindling everybody too, because everybody thought, me, myself included, thought we
Yeah,
had it all figured out. We're like, okay, she won the briefcase. Jade Cargill won Queen of the Ring. She's going to
right.
go. Jade, it's going to be Jade versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. Jade is going to win, and then she's going to be, champion for a good 90 seconds, and then here comes Naomi. That's what everybody thought.
Mm-hmm.
And nope, we're changing it all up. And
Yep.
last night you got to hear the announcement with your own little ears that
Yes.
at SummerSlam it'll be Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. So how excited are you about that?
I think that could be a good match too. I think that's going to bring a totally new dimension to the Rhea and Io feud. And I think that's going to be strong. I think that's going to be a good match. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's, I loved Naomi's promo.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't get behind the globe, but you're going to get behind this. Oh no, don't give me that. No, don't give me that. Yeah, she was letting the fans have it last night. But because the fans were showing the appreciation, but I got where she was coming from. Nobody
Well,
cared.
and
Nobody cared about her glowing for whatever reason. It just seemed like it was an afterthought.
Well, and she really dug her heels into that character too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
she
really appreciated that. Because sometimes when even when the heels on there will start getting appreciation, they might kind of bask in it a little bit for a few minutes.
Mhm.
She didn't
Mhm.
do that. She was like, oh no,
No.
no, 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 no. So nice touch.
Yeah.
All right, really quick. I don't want to talk all about last night, but there are some things that I do want to speak about
Sure.
from Raw. I know we spoke a lot on what happened on the women's side as we went through Evolution, but
Mhm.
let's go ahead and talk especially about the Gauntlet main event. Braun Breaker was the MVP of the Gauntlet match.
Yeah, he was.
That dude is just impressive, straight up.
Yep.
And the whole thing was great. I kind of knew that CM Punk was going to win. It's not going to be a heel versus a heel at SummerSlam. I knew that wasn't going to happen. CM Punk was probably the right call to go against Gunther. But that's not what everybody's talking about. They're talking about the return of the OTC Roman Reigns to
Right.
get vengeance back on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed,
Mhm.
Paul Heyman.
Right.
So, how did it feel when he entered?
Oh God. I think my ears are still ringing from that. Man, what a pop. What
Yeah.
an absolute ridiculous. I mean, it was. I mean, if you thought watching The Rock come back last year, if you thought that pop was ridiculous, man, this was right up there. Very loud. If there was piped in noise, you couldn't tell, because
Wow.
the crowd was just that hot for when Roman's music hit. And here's my theory as to why WWE did that at the time they did, because I think that's when All In's main event was still getting started.
Mm.
I'm joking. You know how long All In was going on, right?
Yeah, it was like 5 hours long.
I think All In was still going on when that part of the night happened.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
John Moxley is still bleeding, by the way.
Yeah. John Moxley's still bleeding, and yeah, yeah. But Wheeler Yuta's hair got longer throughout the time. But yes, yeah, no, unbelievable pop. Nothing really happened after the cameras went off the air. You got to see Roman do the one, and that was it. But no, he didn't get on the mic or nothing like that. So that was pretty cut and dry. But
So I have a question for you. Since Seth Rollins is kind of out of commission for a little bit, and so Roman Reigns is not able to get his comeuppance on him quite
right.
yet. Are we? It kind of felt like to me last night that it might be Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at the pay-per-view. Did you get that same vibe?
I'm getting that vibe because Roman went to help Jay up, but he just kind of looked over at Punk and just shoot him off. He didn't really get into that too much. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they would go with that. I still find it funny that they never really have come out with any conclusive thing about Seth yet. Because nothing was announced last night. And, Heyman just teased and said, well, it's too early or something like that. So nothing's really been said. So now I'm seeing all these conspiracy theories that saying, well, maybe it's really a work and he's going to do another heist of the century at SummerSlam or something like that, which I don't know. Not with the way I saw that happen at main event. I can't imagine that's
because let's be frank, LA Knight was never going to win that match on Friday Night SmackDown.
No.
And so that was just a fluke thing. It was awkward too. It was so awkward. There's no way that was planned.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was a watch along I saw where they were like, oh, they're not even looking at him in the ring. They're off in the crowd. Oh, that's not good. They were doing all these things that weren't they didn't want to show what was going on with him getting wheeled off or helped out or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But
Yeah.
But yeah, they really didn't allude to it, and there's really not been any official word. But I mean, he's here in Birmingham, so what better place because that's where they all go,
Yep.
over to Andrew Sports Medicine. So that's where they get taken care of. So, at least hopefully he's here. He's got checked out and whatever they got to do from there. So,
and let's just hope it's better than they think it is.
Yeah, because I think Triple H wasn't sounding very enthusiastic about the prognosis. I think so. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. So we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
But
Christine said that the match between Rhea and Io was incredible, and she was a little upset with the ending. I can understand that. It felt like, oh man, she just took that away. But at the same time, it was great.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, it was just like another chapter to the Io Rhea story, really.
Yeah.
Because now neither of them have the belt. So they, so now they just add a new dimension to the whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that happened on Monday Night Raw that you got to see that you want to talk about, or?
Let me think. You pretty much saw everything on Netflix. I mean, there was, like I said, there were a couple of little vignettes that they didn't show, but maybe overseas they may have gotten. I know you can see the LA Knight thing wishing Seth a speedy recovery and stuff like that. And like I said, Ivy Nile and American Made were talking, but the focus kept going on about El Grande Americano and stuff like that. And they were like, no, we were here to talk about us and stuff like that. So, no, nothing really. No, I don't think there was anything else really outlandish. I thought the match with, if you get the main event show, which I don't even know where you see that anymore. I guess it's on the network. But Ivy Nile versus Maxine Dupree, I thought was actually a good match. Maxine seems to be coming along pretty good. You had Natalya out. Natalya and Akira was out there with her. So, yes, the match ends with shenanigans. There was some feet on the ropes to pin Maxine. Maxine lost the match, but that was a decent match. El Grande Americano versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory it seems to be. I guess I completely got lost with him because I'm like, did they split him and Waller up? When did I guess I missed that, but
they haven't done it officially.
Yeah, but he was being cheered last night. So, and he was playing up for the crowd. So, Americano, on the other hand, okay, that body looks like Ludwig Kaiser. We all know that, but he doesn't seem to be wrestling with as much lucha style.
Oh.
I will give him that. So there's a little bit here and there, but then of course he gets the steel thing to stick up in his mask. He headbutts Austin Theory 1, 2, 3, and that was that. So
gotcha.
Spoilers for those two matches, for anybody who cares on them, but no. Other than that, no. There was nothing else that I noticed in the arena or anything like that was talked about. You saw the Sheamus and Rusev promo. You saw Karrion Kross's promo and Sami Zayn. Yeah. Oh, I must have missed the New Day with the wig thing.
Yes. And Grayson Waller was part of that too, but Austin Theory was nowhere to be found.
I think because we couldn't hear it that well on the screens when they did that segment. So we were having a hard. Sometimes you don't always hear those that well in the arena.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
when they're playing. So, but no, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else that happened that that we saw that nobody else caught. So.
Well, one more thing before we leave. What did you think of Goldberg's last match? Did you see it?
Yeah, no, I watched it. It was better than I expected.
Yeah.
I was really thinking Gunther was gonna chop him into a heart attack, but no, he didn't. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I would have hated for them to have done where he squashed him. Goldberg squashed Gunther. I think that would have been
Oh,
stupid.
I would have been so mad if that happened.
Oh, I would have been ticked off too, and I think a lot of even in Atlanta they would have been ticked off with it. But no, I didn't think it was all that bad of a match. It's a shame that NBC and Peacock kind of screwed up the ending,
Yeah.
with them having to cut the feed. But
Well, Bret Hart was happy, but he was probably the only one.
yeah, but no, I mean it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I think I saw somewhere where that was his longest match in like over 20 years or something like that.
I am not surprised.
No, but no, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything.
It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think Gunther was probably the perfect person to be in there with him for his last
I thought so
match.
too. Yeah,
So.
I thought so too.
Well, guys, that's the show. We're going to go ahead and say goodnight so we can send Johnny Metal on his way home. But I appreciate you coming on.
I should say that if you see this VIP seat, you get those when you're ringside, like
That's
the front
cool.
rows and stuff like that. So yeah, that was my seat last night. So I forgot to mention that. Oh, and I can't get to it, but one of the other freebies they give you in that package deal was you get a signed picture of a superstar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got Grayson Waller.
It one is of those, what it is.
I got one time when I got one of those deals, I think I got one of the Iconics. The really whiny sounding one. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I can't think of it either.
Oh, it's
the really pouty, whiny one. It's the other one was like really the much better wrestler, but she was the other one.
Peyton Royce.
Yeah, Peyton Royce. I think was yeah. I think it was her, but I'm like, ugh. I think I have it still somewhere, but anyway, but no. So yeah, that was good, but no, thank you for doing this with me. I'm glad to help you out and do stuff with this. It's always fun.
All right. Would you like to tell everybody where to find you?
Well, you go to YouTube, go to my just look for My Music Corner. I haven't been doing a lot of content lately. I've been kind of having some mental health and other regrouping things going on in my life, so I've not been doing a ton of content lately, but I got over 300 videos. I've got plenty of series, folks, if for wrestling or for music mostly. So if you're a hard rock heavy metal guy or gal, then you'll be right at home with my channel. I have a few wrestling things on every once in a while, but for the most part right now I've been kind of on a little bit of a hiatus. So it's but you can usually find me on a couple different channels once in a blue moon, and I just enjoy getting to talk wrestling. Is always a fun thing, especially when it's like a live thing like I just experienced. And we go back a few years, so it's just like we're talking at a bar or a restaurant.
Yeah. It's just a good time.
Or the DDPY PC or something.
Yeah. Or hauling out Christmas trees.
Right.
Had to throw that out there.
Yes. I'll never live that down.
Nope. Never. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we want to thank Johnny Metal for joining me as well. And Ray All Day and I will be back for a new tailgate party to talk about All In and all of the stuff that had happened on there, 4:45 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check us out tomorrow. And you guys stay peachy. See ya. Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night, sweet peach. It's the end of the show. We hate to leave, but we really can't stay. good night, sweet